On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be going over week 1 of hazard communication and chemical safety. So stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, Warehouse Safety Tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast. Well, you've made it to a new month of Warehouse Safety Tips, and this month we're going to be going over hazard communication and chemical safety, and we're going to be talking today about HazCom, which is hazardous communication, or at least that's the buzzword as when it comes to safety. So the very first thing that we want to talk about is what's in your facility. You want to make sure that you go through and check out the safety data sheets, which are called SDSs, for all the chemicals that you use anywhere in your facility, and make sure that you make yourself aware of them in every way, shape, and form, because this is the stuff that's going to keep you safe. Number 2, we want you to go through and read every label every time. So just because you think you know what's in a container, or even if you think you've used something before, make sure you take the time to read it, because if you mix something wrong, if you inhale something wrong, if you don't have the right PPE on when you're using it, or whatever the case may be, it can be very hazardous, and we want to make sure that you avoid that at all costs. The next thing is you want to go through and follow signage and posted instructions. So make sure that whatever the rules and regulations are at your facility, we always say this at the end of the podcast, but now this is a major point of it. Follow the directions. So whatever your local facility or chain of facilities asks that you do when it comes to chemicals and hazard communication, make sure you follow it. Number 4, we just covered this, but you want to make sure you always wear the right PPE, which is personal protective equipment. That's going to be at all times, not just with chemicals, but in general. But when it comes to chemicals, make sure that you know if you're supposed to wear gloves, visors, if you're supposed to have on certain protective clothing, if you're supposed to have on a certain set of goggles. Sometimes it's even respirators, so just make sure that you always know what PPE you're supposed to be wearing. And last but certainly not least, make sure that you report any missing or damaged labels. So if you pick up a container and, the label is ripped off, and you are having to kind of guess what's in it, or if there is a label missing completely, think about this. If you were to open up your cabinet at home and go to reach for what you think was a can of corn, but it was just a can, and you had no idea if it's corn, if it's peas, whatever it is, you wouldn't probably just open it. Although you're going to open it at home, you'd know that, it may not knock you out and possibly injure your family. At work, it can. So make sure that you don't open something blindly. Call maintenance, call supervisor, and have them do it, because they're going to be able to figure out in a safe manner and not, number 1, slow down production, and 2, cause potential injury. So again, I want to state that these are only tips and tricks to get started. If things are different at your particular facility, make sure you follow those rules and regulations, but this is going to be a really great place to start. So until we talk to you next time for week 2 of hazard communication and chemical safety, have a great week. Make sure that you go out there and have a great day, and above all else, stay safe. And here is a word from one of our sponsors.
It's scientifically unexplainable. It's virtually indestructible. And it's taking over the entire planet. But in a really good way. It's Mighty Line Floor Tape, the most durable floor tape in the world. 7 times thicker than average floor tape. Beveled to endure pounding warehouse traffic, and backed with a super strong peel and stick adhesive, so you'll never have to worry about painting shop floors again. Mighty Line Floor Tape, the only durable stripe.